Dehancer Pro is a software that emulates film, and it does this by bringing you some of the most popular film stocks throughout the years. It comes with a lot of features such as film compression, film prints, grain, halation, bloom, and much more. Before I get started, Dehancer Pro did reach out to me for a review in exchange for their product, but they don't get any input and they don't get to see this video before it's released. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, we're already on the Dehancer app, and that actually is because I was having trouble earlier with the screen recording where it would screen record Lightroom, but then it wouldn't get into Dehancer and it would just stay in Lightroom. So just know that we downloaded the software, we read the manual on how to install it into Lightroom, and then all you do is from there you do some micro adjustments, because I wouldn't recommend doing all your adjustments after, because then you're doing all the adjustments after the film emulation is done. So just do some micro adjustments, and then you right click, you press edit in, and then it'll say there Dehancer Pro, edit in Dehancer Lightroom. So you go ahead and do that, and then now we are at the screen which we are currently at. And as you see, this is pretty much the main screen and where everything is gonna happen. So this is a photo example that I took the other day of my friend Jeff, and we're just gonna use the photos from his shoot as examples so that way you can see what it does. Starting off with the film profiles, which are on the left side, you can see that we have quite a bit of film emulations, and honestly a lot of them are very, very good. I did heart the ones that I did like. That one, probably not my not my most favorite, but as you could tell, there's a lot of really good film profiles in here, and I'm actually gonna stay on, I think I'm gonna do Kodak Gold 200. So we're gonna go ahead and do that one. On the top you see we have all films. This kind of breaks it down for you in the film types. I just have all of them on there, and then the profiles, if you want a list of them, they're all there too. Another thing is the push and pull. That pretty much means if you push it left, it kind of gives you more of a cooler feel, and then if you push it right, it gives it more of a warmer feel. But we're gonna go ahead and leave it in the middle because I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Now if we move over to our right side, we have all the stuff that we can edit through. The first one is the source, which I pretty much am not messing with it because most of my touch-ups, temperature, exposure are gonna be in Lightroom, and then I'm bringing it in here and doing the majority of, I guess, the color grading. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip that. Film compression, it's pretty nice if you see the before and after. Pretty much what I compare this to is just it's compressing it into a nice filmic look. It's kind of like custom curves in DaVinci or in Lightroom. The next one is expand, and that pretty much just what it says. It expands your image. If you want a darker black point, as you can see, it'll go darker. If you want a lighter, it'll go lighter. These are the normal settings, but as you can see through the sliders, the curves on the bottom, my highlights could be maybe just a little bit more brighter, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and hire these, get some. If we get a little bit of clipping, it's okay because I'm going for that filmic look. Again, you could go even higher, and even though you're severely clipping, you see it over here and it doesn't look still, you know, too bad. I'm pretty happy with that expand. So this is the before, this is the after. Obviously just brightens up the image and gets a little bit of nice contrast in there. So the film section of this is actually going to be very useful, and such a subtle thing that it does, but it's pretty much like the final print that gets laid onto like the image. And if you go through the other ones, obviously you have Fujifilm, and then you have Kodak, which are very nice film prints. But right now I'm just staying on the Endura glossy paper. I feel like that one's a nice balance. It doesn't do too much, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. So I don't really move anything except for the color density. So color density is cool because it's pretty much like a natural film saturation. So instead of saturating the whole image, you're getting a nice filmic saturation. It's kind of equal to the HSL slider in DaVinci. We're just gonna go and hire it all the way. So we're gonna hire it all the way, and look how much saturation it brings in without it being overwhelming or just unnatural. I really like how it looks already, but I'm gonna go ahead and dial it down. I feel like usually around 60%, anywhere in 60% is usually a nice point to be around. But yeah, that is the print. If you see the before and after, I'll go ahead and zoom in so you could see more of it. Before, after, before, after. So yeah, I mean, pretty pretty simple stuff. The next thing is the color head. Color head is pretty much like a split toning, I would say. I don't really use it. Again, if I do any split toning, I'd probably just do it on Lightroom at that point. But just to show you guys what it can do. Shadows, obviously if you go left, it's gonna be more cooler. If you go right, more warmer. Shadows, midtones, highlights. Again, I don't really use it, but I can see how it could be very useful. So we're gonna turn that off. And the next thing is the film grain. So the film grain actually, in my opinion, is a lot better than what Lightroom offers. And that's for the fact that I feel like this film is actually stamped within the sensor of this photo versus the grain just feeling almost like it's just placed on top, like in Lightroom. This one doesn't feel like that. Now, obviously you have your settings that you can mess around with. I usually keep everything standard. I just changed it from negative to positive. Negative, for those of you that don't know, is just going to be a more heavy-handed grain, and then positive is going to be more 4K feeling, so just cleaner. I usually go for the positive, even though a lot of people do go for the negative. I'm going for the positive, and I actually up the amount. So the amount was around 20%. I'm going to up it a little bit, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that film. Here's the before, and here's the after. Now the next tab is halation. We're gonna put the mask mode so that way you could see what it is actually doing, and those are the parts that it is hitting. If we turn it off, you can see exactly where it's hitting. So it's that red outline. You can see it a little bit on the hair. This is before, and this is after. Now we have bloom, and this is kind of the last segment that I'm going to be talking about. Bloom pretty much just blooms the photo in different ways that you want it to. You could bloom the highlights more, you could save some of the highlights and maybe not do the highlights as much. Pretty much bloom reminds me of like using a Promise filter, and that makes me pretty happy because now I can choose how much bloom I want without having to have the Promise filter or not have it. So yeah, bloom, this is before and this is after. Before, after. Actually, before doesn't look too bad. I kind of like that nice contrast look, but we'll just keep it on just for the tutorial sake. So I do want to talk about a few things that Dehancer can change. Hopefully they watch this video and they look to implement some of these things. And the first thing that I want to talk about is kind of just the customization of short keys. If I'm not mistaken, I can check, but yeah, I couldn't find any place to get short keys, unlike Lightroom where you have Z to like zoom in and out, and you have dash to check the before and after. Here you have to use the scroll wheel to zoom in, and then you have to use the scroll wheel to zoom out, or you can use this button on top for the zoom in, zoom out. It's cool, but I like having my hands on the keyboard to where I can use short keys, and it's just so much faster. Again, you have the preview button, but I wish there was a button on my keyboard so that way I don't have to be going up and down, and it's just ease of use, I would say. The next thing would be probably a better integration with Lightroom. I know it's hard because it's a third party, but I just wish that you can edit through the film with all your settings on Lightroom and kind of mesh it together, versus here it's like you have to do your settings before, take it to Dehancer, and then bring it back into Lightroom and then export that way. And just to let you guys know that Dehancer does have an app, but this app isn't included in the photo subscription or in the video subscription because they're all their own subscription. You can use a free trial, check it out. If you guys like it, you guys can get the month, the year, or even the lifetime. And if you guys do enjoy the trial, you can use my code MATTKNOWS to get 10%, as it will help me pay for my meal later today that I'm gonna eat. Hopefully, unless you don't get the subscription, then I won't eat. Hey guys, it's On the Field Matt, and I'm actually shooting a video review for the FX3 because I actually just got it a few months ago, and I realized that the audio for this video cut off at the end. Now, I can't control that, but I am here now to tell you guys that Dehancer Pro is definitely probably the best film emulation software that you can go for right now in the market. And if you guys haven't tried it out, go ahead and try the free trial, and the rest of this video is just going to be me showing you more examples of what this plugin can do. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys want more content like this, I do appreciate if you give me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.